How can I support my kids during this transition in finding new and more love? Of course you want that for yourself. Of course you deserve that for yourself, right? You have so much to offer, and you are such a wonderful, amazing person, and you deserve to have someone in your corner and a partner to share your life with and all your experiences with, right? But you don't want to attract the same type of person. And in order to not attract the same type of person you had in your first marriage, is you have to become a different person. And how do you do that? The only way to transform and to level up and become the next best version of yourself is to do the healing work that will give you also growth, right? And so when you're doing the work and you're in that better place internally, your kids will be too, because you will project that. You also will, they will pick up that energy from you, and you will be that example for them. Whether your kids are little or they're adults, they feed off of you, especially when they're little. And each of you are in separate realities. So what else this is going to require is open and honest communication. And that's why I'd say the communication is going to look a little bit differently, whether they're children or they're adults. And I would suggest focusing on building skills around open, honest, vulnerable, authentic communication with yourself and then with your children, right? Because everybody we live in our own mind, and your children are also, depending on their age, whether they have their own life or not, they're an adult, but they are experiencing what's happening for you in your life in their mind. And if they're not telling you, they're just imagining things in their own mind, and you don't know, and then they're making up things in their own mind, and they're living in their own reality. However, we want to kind of get in alignment, right, and communicate what our needs are, what our wants are, what our desires are, what our challenges are, so we can understand each other, and we can, be allies to each other and support each other as children and parents. And again, I say that, depending on if your children are adult or not, it's going to look different than the level of support that they're going to need as children. So work on building these communication skills with calmness, confidence, compassion, authenticity, and vulnerability. These are also things that I teach in my mastermind program. And there's women in there right now who are learning to get back to their fit. They're learning to get back to their authentic, true self, and then being able to express that, having difficult conversations with difficult people, right? That can trigger you and bring up big feelings. So communication and listening. And the biggest part, especially when we're interacting with our children with difficult subjects and topics, is to listen. Do less talking and more listening, because more listening will allow you to understand where your child is at and to meet them where they're at with what you say and how you and with what you say in your communication, and then also how you do that. Of course, with little children, they're not going to talk as much. They're just going to show you with their behavior. And that's something else that I teach, is understanding what is their behavior meaning. What messages are they sending you with their behavior? And, adult children might verbalize more what they're thinking or feeling, and they may not, right? And how important it is to validate your children's feelings through listening, through giving them that space to hear them, to be heard, to be understood, to know that they're thinking, their feelings, and they matter, right? And the last part I'm going to say about this is, in conversations with your children, never relating or comparing their father to this new man or this potential of a new man that may come into your life. So, and that shows maturity within yourself, and that that was a past relationship that you learned and you healed and you grew from, and that is no longer going to come into your new relationship that you have a potential that you're seeking